Natural Wonders, and Audio-Visual Art Productions presents The Enchanted Forest. The Enchanted Forest is a spectacular immersive art experience like no other. This virtual journey will transport you to the beautiful forests of Pratomagno and Casentino in Tuscany. This year's show, Art of Nature, promises to be a kaleidoscopic outdoor experience, an unforgettable journey through a symphony of light, music, and the natural beauty of the forest. A magical celebration of the beauty of nature's interconnectedness. Delighting visitors for over a decade, audio-visual art and the photographer-video maker Mark Soetebier continue to promote the spectacle of images, sounds and lights of the most beautiful places in Europe. Forests and woodlands are teeming with life. From the smallest insects to the largest mammals, these ecosystems are rich in biodiversity. The red squirrel and a marten sharing the water of the mountain stream. The interplay of light and shadow in forests is nothing short of magical. Sunlight filters through the dense canopy, creating intricate patterns on the forest floor. Capturing these dramatic variations in light and shadow is one of the key challenges and rewards of woodland photography. Here is a mushroom hunter. The variety of mushrooms in these woods is very rich. Lying on the ground and filming may seem a bit funny, but for a good photographer it's fundamental. The shooting point of view gives spectacular frames. The undergrowth is a rich and unknown world for many, but you just need to know how to observe and grasp the details. The beauty of forests and woodlands evolves with the seasons. Each season offers a unique palette of colors and moods. And here is the king of the Pratomagno Forests, the fallow deer. In mid-October, it is the mating season, and the bellowing of the fallow deer echoes in the forest. Here are some shots taken by Mark Soetebier and photographer Davide Ambu. In the Pratomagno Forest, autumn is characterized by the brightly colored foliage slowly falling from trees and shrubs to cover the ground. It's a unique spectacle. But why do some plants lose their leaves before winter? Apparently, leaf shedding in autumn is a form of self-protection. While evergreen plants in cold climates have thick waxes and resins to protect their leaves from freezing and cracking, deciduous species generally have thin leaves that are sensitive to cold temperatures. Because water expands when it freezes, the tender leaf cells would break during the winter, rendering them useless for photosynthesis. Without these leaves falling, such a tree would be left with thousands of unproductive appendages and no way to produce food. As if that weren't enough, the surface of all those leaves would also pose a threat to the physical integrity of the plant. The first snow falls amidst the brilliant autumn colors. Photographer Mark Soetebier says, Winter has always been my favorite season to be in the woods. I find the winter landscape incredibly beautiful and peaceful. It's beautiful to see the gradual changes in the forest as autumn turns to winter. It's easy to admire the beauty of the winter landscape, from the bright blue sky on a frosty day to the trees covered in frost. But what about all the things we can't see? What happens to the forest during the winter? Cold weather, bare trees, and shorter days all create challenges for our winter wildlife. There are clues around the forest that tell us all about winter wildlife, how animals overcome the challenges of winter, where they live, and what they eat to survive. Some animals hibernate through winter. This mostly includes small mammals, amphibians, reptiles, and insects. During hibernation, these animals preserve their energy, lowering their temperature, heart rate, and metabolism. Birds, however, do not hibernate. Smaller birds, such as tits, sparrows, and finches, are more likely to remain in the forest during the winter, as their small wings are not adapted for migration. Animals leave droppings wherever they go. When looking for winter wildlife in the forest, droppings can be a good indicator that something is nearby. The red squirrel looks at us suspiciously. Who is this strange being wandering in the woods? He is Giovanni Mazzieri, the drone operator who is part of the expedition. He's flying through the woods looking for the most scenic spots, so that we can then reach it and film it. Giovanni is a professional drone operator who also specializes in finding lost animals with a thermal drone. Animals are extremely sensitive to their surroundings, so it is virtually impossible to fly a drone without an animal knowing. Some animals are easily spooked by drones, while others do not seem to mind. Overall, we at Audio Visual Art think that the important thing is to limit the stress on individual animals. We limit ourselves to using the drone to locate animals or to film and identify spectacular scenes to film. Unfortunately, it is often easy to get carried away and chase the animal for longer, but it is up to the drone pilot and professional guides of wildlife experts to be respectful and set boundaries. This is an interesting point. We want to immortalize the frozen stream. Let the silence of the snow and the beauty of nature bring you peace and calm. I am running a setting where the sun has become cold and the world has entered an ice age. What happens to all the snow that starts to fall? It piles up and piles up. Or is there some other mechanism in nature that gets rid of it? Nature is a symphony. Every season offers fantastic scenery. Now the sun is out and its rays reflect and kiss every corner of the fairy forest.